Today on Legends of Rod and Reel, a mystical, magical bass boat ride on the waters of Lake Camelot with a bass fisherman aptly named Mαρκ Φίσερ.
This is a true giant.
Mαρκ Φίσερ might be the luckiest angler you've ever known. He was a sign maker from Minnesota who today is a lure designer for the biggest name in fishing, Rapala. Only in America. The amazing story of Mαρκ Φίσερ, next on Legends of Rod and Reel.
All who seek fish are not created equal. Some anglers who ply the waters possess a passion unbridled, with catching skills unmatched. With all fish, they see eye to eye. They are the Legends of Rod and Reel.
Here we go.
A new day on the water and a new can of peanuts. Peanuts for Mαρκ Φίσερ. Life doesn't get much better.
Oh, dang, what is this?
You got yourself a sunfish.
My string is shaking. What is it? Is that my lure?
You were talking to me about length?
A funny fishing moment shared with a longtime fishing buddy, Scott Bonema.
You got me out of bed at 5 o'clock to catch fish that big. What's the deal?
Yeah, and I bought breakfast too, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That was mighty nice of you.
Yes, Mαρκ Φίσερ is a nice guy, but if you think nice guys finish last, well, you haven't heard Mαρκ Físer's life story.
There he is.
There he is. Take him.
Okay, I waited for you to tell me. Here he comes.
Oh, nice. Oh. Hang on. He might have a buddy down there.
He's got a buddy down there. Go
Might
get him.
have another one with her.
They're
That's
biting
a nice one.
awfully light, bud.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put him on the other side of the vessel.
Well, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
She looks like, yeah. There's one.
You got him?
Yeah, it's a better one.
Hang with him. Hang with him, little buddy.
Oh.
Oh.
This is what it's all about right there, buddy.
Blindfold him. I'm telling you right now, he's my best buddy, but you gotta blindfold this guy.
I have a new spot.
No, you are a problem child.
Here, let me go hit
Get out of here.
To paraphrase the words to a song, fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you.
How does that feel, little buddy?
That was kind of fun. Can I do that again?
No.
Well, a decade ago, it did happen to Mαρκ Fίσερ.
I'm a lucky guy. I mean, I've always worked hard and I've always enjoyed what I do, but opportunities. You know, you do have to be in the right place at the right time. There's no doubt about it.
Once upon a time on the back streets of Minneapolis, Mαρκ Fίσερ worked as a sign maker who spent summer weekends bass fishing.
I can draw better than I can talk. I mean, listen to this interview. You know, I can stutter and stammer around, but I can pick up a piece of paper and a pencil and go, "You mean this?" And I'll draw the shape. You know, here I was talking about, you know, we're talking about usage of lures, you know. Okay, we're going into a trolling method. You know, well, we want to be able to stack, you know, lures up so far, and there's a cloud of bait fish or whatever, and here's a boat, just for some quick things.
Then one day, the sign maker entered a big buck bass tournament, and
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I marched up there confident, you know. I had buddies cheering for me, you know. It was a very emotional moment, and it was $50,000.
against all odds and some of the best bass anglers in the country, Mαρκ Fίσερ, the sign maker, had won a $50,000 first-place purse on Minnesota's Lake Minnetonka.
I knew I wasn't going to pursue a professional tournament angling career with the family and all that sort of thing. And the business was doing good, and I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed what I was doing. But yeah, I did want to get in the fishing industry somehow, some way.
As it turned out, that somehow, some way began with a phone call.
A buddy of mine called, a gentleman by the name of Tom Mackin. He said, "Fish, you ever thought about coming to work for Rapala?" And we started talking about what opportunities there were and how I could weave in, and you know, I was like gas back. I'm thinking, holy smokes, if I ever wanted to get in the fishing industry, this is where I want to hang my hat.
Being on the water, I would run into Mark all the time. And when I first arrived at Rapala, I was the vice president of marketing. And one of the responsibilities that came with that job was the pro staff and field promotions. And that's really not my strong suit. And especially, you know, the field promotion part of it, just being out there all the time and so forth. And immediately Mark came to mind. So I've been around the company for 22 years at this point, and you know, I'm the president of Rapala, and I'll meet people and they'll say, "You work for Rapala?" And the very first question is, "Do you know Mark Fίσερ?"
But here, this is basically our test tank. You know, we'll come in here and check lure actions.
You know, Mark had a major role in the development of the X-Wrap, you know, really from the concept all the way through development of the lure. And that lure family is now the largest selling lure family among all of the Rapala lures worldwide.
For more than 10 years now, Mark Fίσερ has had, in his mind, the perfect job.
There's another one. I got one too.
This one just realized he's hooked.
This is a piker.
Fish while you think.
This one's a nice one, little buddy.
What kind?
LMB.
LMB.
He's out there on the outside edge chasing these sunfish. So like I was saying, our engineers over in Finland at the factory are the best in the world. It's like every day they're engineering Swiss clocks and Mercedes-Benz. You've got the utmost respect for these guys because they can take a concept, they can put it into play, work off some drawings and rough sketches, and build crankbaits like this. The average angler can go out and be successful with it and catch fish like this. That's what it's all about. That's the mission in life. And if that's the only mission I have left in this life, it's a win. It's that simple.
It's a win that often begins in Mark Físer's country garage near St. Francis, Minnesota, a small suburb of Minneapolis-St. Paul. One winter day in Mark's garage, one of Rapala's newest additions to the lure family, the Wrap, was first designed. A year later, following prototypes, test fishing, and retests, the Wrap was headed for the store shelves.
It's almost like an addiction. It's just you have to learn more. You want to be out there more. You want to challenge yourself more. You want to learn more. And I think that's what fishing does.
Indeed, his time on the water is in search for the lure design we all want.
With the perfect lure. It's the magic fish catching lure of all times. And you know what? You don't hear that with baseball bats. You don't hear that with, you know, windows on a house or gutters. Or I think there's a lot of things that we're going to see that'll come and go. The difference is how many pieces can you sell. You know, certainly the hope and dream of somebody that wants to sit down and carve and whittle out a bait and work out of his garage, that dream still exists. If he can get the ear of the buyers and the distribution and all that's in the industry now, but it's a tougher nut to crack than it ever was, you know.
When he's not on the water, Mark hangs out here, the Rapala offices in Minneapolis, where nobody forgets the lure carver from Finland, Lauri Rapala, who started it all a half-century ago.
I like working and I like fishing because at the end of the day you're exhausted, physically and mentally, and you know, there's something inside me that goes, that's a good day. We come up with ideas, and we come up with, we'll do drawings, we'll do, you know, talk with their engineers and designers over in Finland, and after the designs come off paper, they go into actual little models. Just run them to get a feel as if actions are correct, if it's suitable for what we're looking for. Does it suspend? Does it float? Does it sink? Does it do whatever we need it to do? And once we get these, then our next step is to go to the next process where we physically put them to the test in the water. Some baits that are designed to go to specific depths, or deep depths, I should say, need a lot of vibration. Dirty water needs a lot of vibration, and there's subtleties in finesse fishing where we'll go right back to the balsa baits, and you want them to be very subtle in action. You don't want them to move that much water, because any little bit of vibration is discernible by fish, you know, by lateral lines and ears and that sort of thing. But
he thinks faster than most people can comprehend what's going to happen next. He's really out there, but he can make it happen, and it's interesting.
There he is. Come on, yeah. You could see, oh, that's a good one. You could see the lanes. This is a real good one. You could see the open pockets in the milfoil with our electronics. And I just threw this crankbait right down that lane. And it's a bass, and it's a real good one. Look at this mule. Hello, buddy. You gotta love it. Optimum spot for a crankbait.
Coming up, more fishing fun with Mαρκ Φίσερ,
There he is.
the luckiest angler in America. You're watching Legends of Rod and Reel.